Yes, it's your boy J-Salaam, aka Brother Jabril. The show is Exposure. We've got a lot of new stuff coming up for Exposure, including our partnership with Sonido. I got the boss man himself, JJ Malave, with me. How you doing, brother?
Man, doing well. Trying to stay dry right now.
I know that's right, man. Hopefully everything works out. I still got my place out there, so I want to get flooded again.
Dude, that would be
Fingers crossed.
horrible.
Yeah, bro,
Yeah,
that'd be terrible. Anyway, the show is Exposure. We moved to Saturday, so it's going to be July 27th at it's a new venue. So we've got the address and everything at the bottom of the flyer. Please look at the flyer for all the info. JJ and I go back pretty far, pretty way back. Actually, further back than I actually realized. Bought his first set of turntables from old roommate of mine who we adopted each other as siblings, Sister Stroke, and
yeah,
I'm sure my brother's got a ton of great stories to share with us. So I'm really looking forward to diving in with you. So why don't you tell
sure.
us a little bit about yourself, man? Where you from? Your DJ name? How you got your DJ? Well, that's easy, but everything else about you, like how did you come into
uh,
electronic music?
yeah, I mean, I can say that DJ name probably evolved like 30 times. You know, I think it usually does. So you're like, okay, well, just
did
the
did you
Malave
have
brothers are
another
probably.
one?
So it's like, oh man, and they go back to like Cronus. I think then there was a joke between our crew. Hey, we got DJ Pacifier over here, man. He's a pacifier guy. I mean, you're talking like 25 years ago, right? So I'm JJ Malave. I was born in Caracas, Venezuela. Moved out to the States back in the mid 90s. And ever since, I've always geared towards instruments, more acoustic. And just talking about, how did I come about, how did I get into electronic music in general? Well, music, I played the guitar, acoustic guitar. I dabble a little bit on the piano, not an expert, I can't say that I am, but um, you know, as you grow up, you when you have that older brother or that older sister, you kind of, when you're 2 years apart, you end up starting to hanging out, with the same group of people. And I think the biggest influence there was with Jason, which we talked about on that chat the other day, Tresor 713.
Yeah.
So that group, and then he's friends with my brother, and then a couple people, and some of these people also worked at chemistry. So it's like it was everybody's intertwined, and in like a crazy web that just expands, right? It's, hey, I knew people from the south side of Houston, I knew people from the Woodland side, I knew people from Katy. Downtown was like the spot, right? The industry cafe days back in the day when
Oh man,
you used to have all that.
those are
It
the
was the
days.
That's what I'm saying, like the warehouse district, right? That's now Edo. Um, I would be hanging out in those areas, and then I started. It's crazy. I started with, I think the easiest thing was I was following more like the hard house, like crowd, and then like somebody was one day was, hey man, I got this like badass mix, and I'm like, okay, well, it's like this guy's Jeff Mills live at Liquid Room. It's like '96, 4 years old, and I'm like, okay. He's like, I'm gonna play this shit. Let's just jam. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm probably what 15, 14 at that time. I had already been playing, but a bit more house. I tried a little bit of hip hop. Wasn't my stuff. I just continue going to the house. I was starting to collect vinyl at that time, 99, 2000. And then that was it, man. It was like something clicked. I'm like, yeah. And I started just doing my own research on this guy. And there was YouTube, but there wasn't many videos out there, right? Around that time, it was starting to get up and going, and people using YouTube as like a source. And I started watching these videos of this guy mixing on three turntables, four turntables, and just like the crazy transitions. And I'm like, I'm gonna find out the name of that track. So then it was like the witch hunt, right? So then I just got into, started listening, to right, underground resistance stuff. I started digging even farther, the plus eight, which it was, Plastic Man and this other guy, I forgot his name. I don't even mess with them anymore, but used to buy a lot of his records, and you know you start evolving throughout the years, and you start kind of learning like, okay, well, a DJ, you're just trying to kind of cater to what people want to hear, right? You don't,
Yeah.
you have some kind of staple sound that you may develop throughout the years, but that may change depending on who you're playing to. Um, the biggest thing for me is, yeah, I always go for the Detroit techno, the house, the techno, but there will be a point in time during my set to where I can say, hey, I'm going too hard. I need to go like, switch directions just because, or I'm losing contact, or is let's catch people's attention, right? So you throw a disco track and just like, oh shit.
Right.
And that was kind of, during those early days, those 2000, late 90s, early 2000, a lot of the music was like that too. And these guys just started kind of, just molding their sound. And then, Jeff went into like the more astrophysics and, going into like the outer space. And then you had these other guys that are branding it different, right? Richie was into the whole technology thing,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So totally different. Hey, how many devices can I use to make something sound totally different? Then you have the old school guys, the Juan Atkins, the Kevin Saunderson, the Derek Mays that stuck with, hey, I'm going to continue playing vinyl and I'm going to go all over the spectrum. But as all the technology evolves, I'm going to go ahead and integrate CDJs now, but I
Right.
will not veer away from vinyl. So, I mean, I think I could say, those are some of the guys that kind of influenced me in terms of the music, what I listen to now, how I develop my sound. And they just went, from that to drum and bass. I'll even throw some UK garage. Why not, right? There's some good stuff out there right now actually
Do,
being produced. Go ahead.
do you have somebody that you feel like is your biggest influence in the way that you play, like a Paul Craig or Kevin Saunderson, or
I would say Derek.
really
Yeah.
Derek May?
Yeah. Derek May, because of his aggressiveness on while he mixes. And then I can kind of also say it's a blend between that and then you have like the Jeff Mills, right?
Yeah.
Which you will, scratch on top of the record and boom, done. And I'll do that on CDJs. If you listen to someone that makes, I'll do that just to kind of it. That's when I can tell when
You're
I'm
adding
playing live that,
texture.
yeah, I'm adding texture and I became comfortable in my setting,
Right.
right?
Right.
Because you're like, okay, I'm comfortable to do this. I can go outside of the norm, right? I'm not just
100%.
gonna. That's what I can say. Once I hit that point in my sets, it's on. It's just like freestyle time. Let's go, boom.
Yeah, you're not one
So
of these deer in headlight type DJs who are just like, what it like they're just amazed that they're playing. You're
that
just
dude,
you're at
or you
home.
just, yeah, or you're just waiting till the song ends before you mix the next one in. It's just like, come on, guys. As much as I like the track, but you're playing it out like that, Give
Yeah.
me that good 1 minute 30 second or 45-second clip that I want to really hear that hook. Boom,
Right.
switch to the next, right? So it's that the whole transition. So yeah, I would say like a Derek and Jeff and Carl, him being such a good friend, just because we've booked him so many times, so we've developed a relationship. I've been to his house, I know his wife, I know his kids.
Nice.
I've sat in his studio, right? That not many people can say that. And he is to me, it's like, okay, that's the guy that gives me the patience.
Right.
Dude, that guy's got so much patience when he's mixing four tracks together. You won't even notice it, but it's just the way it's so measured that
Right.
is insane, when it's just too calm for me, I think at times. So it's like I'm watching, I'm like, dude, you got too much patience. Like, how do you do this? He's like, I don't know, man. He's like, we got to, he's like, I got to throw some frat boy shit in here. I'm like, all right, dude. So I said, throw you frat boy shit. And then that's what he did in San Antonio when we
Yeah.
just hosted him back at Mave in May. He's like, watch me play this San Antonio, watch me play this this frat boy shit. I'm like, all right, whatever that means. But once I heard, I'm like, I know exactly what you mean now.
I'm playing one more time or something.
Yeah, exactly, exactly, exactly. So you understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, totally. I am if I played techno, you guys are bringing Stacy Poland,
Yeah,
and he's probably one of my favorite techno DJs in
yeah,
terms of like his styles. He's a
yeah,
soulful dude, and he's like one of the first, besides Oh gosh, I knew I was gonna forget his name. It was a guy from the UK, really dope. He used to smoke cigars all the time. Forgot his name, man. Dope techno DJ. But
Hmm.
besides him, Stacy Pullen's probably one of my favorites. What's coming up with that show? When is that? Where is that?
Yeah, so we're returning back to Maeve. So we've done a little bit of a partnership with Bayship and then the venue to do a couple several events. Initially, the goal was every quarter. And we're going to go ahead and continue that right now. The first one with Carl, we had over roughly 400 450 people there. Good turnout for a city that's growing. In terms of the more of the underground sound, is bringing the staple names out there. The EDM scene is there, right? But it
Yeah,
was it was great. So that kind of set the tone for us to be able to say, okay, let's not let this whole drive, this I guess you could say more of we have a momentum. We cannot let that momentum down. Who could we lock in immediately? And I just pick up the phone, made a call. I'm like, Stacy, is he open this day? He's not open that day. I'm open to say, I'm like, okay, done, book it. Send me the contract. Sign that literally the next day. I'm like, dude, we're announcing next Friday. The owner's like, wait, hold on, what? I'm like, just make the day available. You will love me. Trust me. We're moving forward. He's like, all right, done deal. So yeah, we locked him in, man, and he played with me at Bauhaus in Houston. That was the first time for me to book him personally and to sit and like talk to him. Intellectual dude, super super nice man, fucking down to earth, like, very open minded. Actually, all these guys that I've had the pleasure
man.
of working with, even Ronnie Sice, man.
Really?
So,
Yeah.
so I got invited and this is just a little side story. I was in Printworks London last April, and I was invited by Dennis Ferrer. He played on Saturday at a different venue. Sunday, I met with Carl and Mark Broom and James Ruskin, total of the underground, the UK techno guys, right?
Right.
And then I'm in the green room, about to just waiting to go watch Carl, and I'm sitting there with Carl just shooting the shit. And then Ronnie pulls up and he walks in and he's playing before Giles Peterson, which is, I mean,
That's
that's
the
a big
dude.
name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
huge.
dude, huge guy, right? And so I talked to him. I'm talking to Giles, introduced myself, talking to Carl. Then Ronnie comes in. And he's like, dude, aren't you the guy from Houston? I'm like, yeah, from Houston, man. No, we shot. Again, down to earth people, right? Just
Yeah.
straight up remembered me, say what's up, and then I just kind of walked away about that. Carl's like, dude, go get yourself some tequila. I'm like, yeah, I'm going. I'm gonna go get some tequila right now.
That's what I
But
love
talking about
about
this,
underground music, man.
yeah, dude,
Everybody's so accessible. They're not
yeah,
too far beyond like, oh, I don't talk to regulars.
yeah. You have those, right? You
Yeah.
do. You have
Yeah.
those. Same thing. Said nod my head over to Ben Clock and DVS1. They were right there. I've spoken to DVS1, informally through chats and shit, but nothing big. So yeah. So besides that, I mean, that's yeah. We had that opportunity. We booked them. Now it's just a matter of let's get the ball going. It's trying to grow that market, man.
Yeah, San
I got
Antonio's
some
got a
people.
great underground scene, man. They've got a great scene. I've got a couple of buddies that do like soulful house events there.
Hmm.
But they're really pushing some cool shit over there. I love that.
Well, dude, we need to get together with those guys and maybe bring Louie or something.
Oh man. I think
I
they'd
mean,
love
I'm
that.
I'm just saying.
I know how you are though. I say let's go. You just like next day you call me and it's like, hey, it's a done deal. We got it. I paid the deposit. Okay, shit. Let's move.
And, we execute. Talking to about Javier, my other partner for Sonido. He says the same thing. He's like, bro, slow down. I'm like, bro, we talk about it. We're gonna be about it. We're gonna get it done. And that's just the end deal. We'll figure it out after. He's like, all
Yeah.
right, whatever, man. As long as it works out. So I'm really excited to do stuff with you, you and Greg for exposure. Ever since you guys kind of, I started seeing this coming more around. You started coming back after being out there in Atlanta for a while. No, I'm really looking forward to. I know Ralph he's been geeking over this, man, for a while. He's like, no, we got to do it. I'm like, dude, they just said as soon as they're open, they're gonna let us know. So don't worry. So I know he's really looking forward to it. But yeah, man. I mean,
I think it's a natural partnership. It's more like
yeah,
we
yeah,
do the underground soulful house music.
yep,
You guys are techno focused. I think it'll be a great
yep.
combination, especially at the new venue. Exposure has always tried to be about the global movement of underground electronic music. And, of course, we focus primarily on like the house side, but man, you guys have always just had that funky and kind of
Hmm.
dope feel, just you and Ralph just have this great feel to your music that I
Yeah,
think will appeal really well to the even people who might not be familiar with techno. So I think it'll be good to expose some of our crowd to you guys, and maybe you pick up a couple more fans. Dave Clark,
yeah,
by the
man.
way, was the name that I was trying to remember.
Oh shit, the Baron.
Yeah, the
The
Baron.
Dutch Baron, bro.
Yeah,
Oh
man.
my.
That dude's
He's another
amazing.
one talking about the cuts and all that
Yep.
and the technical aspect, technical skills, man, back in like mid 90s and shit. I listened to some of that stuff and I'm just like, wow. He's very outspoken right now too. I don't know if you've noticed that,
No, I
but
didn't know that.
recently, oh man, he's coming around right now too. He may be in the States in October.
Oh,
So
nice.
I'm trying to kind of touch base and see what's going on. So
Nice. So you
yeah,
were talking a little bit about your DJing and how you came into it with
yep.
your brother. Was your brother the DJ first?
He was more of I'm hanging out with my friends that DJ, but then I'm the
Right.
one that actually said, no, fuck that, I'm gonna go get some gear and I'm gonna start playing.
All
And then
right.
so then I did it, and then I was like the young cat with this guy's his friends 3 4 years older than me sometimes. Hey man, can I jump on your tables? Yeah, you got some vinyl? Yeah, dude, I brought my crate. Okay, cool, go ahead.
Nice.
Hey, don't damage my needles, bro. I'm like, I got you. It's like I'm not scratching, I'm just mixing, just blending, dude. That's it.
Yeah. I miss those
Um,
days of going over your spot. I mean, I didn't go over a lot, but
yeah,
it was dope to go over and
yep,
play some like screaming diva house music while you guys are like.
exactly.
So why do you
Gets
DJ, man? What is it that drives you? How would you finish the sentence? I DJ because. Why do you DJ?
So when I look at it, we talk about that global movement where that you mentioned about the underground, right? So I think to me is I DJ because I want to teach the new generation. Just not even teach. It's more of a exposing what's expose that exposure of where the roots came from, right?
Yeah.
Um, you need to. Not many DJs, I don't believe, or even producers nowadays take the time to even look where the music originated. You look at a lot of these guys that we were talking that we mentioned, and these guys are digging hard, dude.
Yeah.
Whenever they were coming up with these tracks in the 90s. I mean, think about the 80s. And when you look at some of these samples, these are samples from Michael Jackson, dude. Jeff
Yeah.
Mills used a lot of them. And you wouldn't even think about that. You're just like, wow. I mean, how does that even happen? A lot of course, like African descent, tribal music,
Yeah.
and a lot of ska, which I've noticed, like reggae, and stuff like that. That also it's in the mix. So to me, it's just more of exposing new generations to where this music was. More of a teacher, more of a curator, more of a trying to get the word out there. Sooner or later, we're all getting old, bro. So we can only do this for so long, right?
I
And
got a good 30 more years, 30, 40 more years of this, baby.
yeah, I look at us like, okay, and I do it, more of it's a stress relief for
Yeah.
me, right? That's
Oh
how I
yeah.
kind of say, hey, you're gonna go do the thing, you're gonna go play golf. Nah, I'm not gonna go play golf, bro. I'm gonna go jam out for about 2 hours, and I got my fix. Like that's what I want to do, you
Hey,
know.
playing golf is dope too. I got
I
my
mean, it is, but I don't have the patience one more time talking about this. I'm that one guy's like, hey man, are you done? Or we're gonna go. What are we doing? I'm like, no, I'm ready. Let's go on to the next hole. You know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would just play best ball. Whoever got it, okay, you win.
Exactly. Don't take score, bro. Don't take
Yeah,
score.
no, we're not taking score.
Yeah,
That's how
yeah.
I play pretty much. I think it's important for us to have that educational aspect to what we do.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why I ended up jumping on board with Nimbus when he asked me, is because it was like, man, we really need to start like bringing more young blood into this. So
Yeah.
that's why we added Malcolm Bravo to the mix,
Hmm.
Sour D, KD, all these younger people, and just kind of educate them, show them what is out there, and then they're gonna add their own twist to it, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
what's happening in Houston right now. It's definitely out there. Hey, can I ask you something really controversial
Go for it.
about techno?
Oh God, I think I know what you're about to ask. Go for it.
Okay, Germany
Ugh.
or Detroit? Germany or
I s-
Detroit? Where did it
I
start,
still
baby?
say
Where did it stay?
I still say Detroit.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
And look, even though you can say Kraftwerk came from, the UK or whatever, they played in Germany, all that through those days. I don't think they were calling their music techno. And it wasn't until Derek and those guys decided, hey, let's add a 909 to the shit. See what happens. And that 909, they got moved to, you know who? Freaking the one that just passed away, house guy, the legend, Frankie Knuckles. Then Frankie Knuckles took that
Right.
909, from Derek Bay. So it's like, dude, come on, man. No, no, no. And again, while it could have happened simultaneously, I don't think they had that name stapled yet, right?
Yeah.
And these guys were still communicating, right? But you start thinking about it, it's like, how are you communicating back in the 70s, right? To a
Yeah.
total different continent. Like, are these guys writing letters? Of course, right?
Sure.
Writing letters. So they're like delayed. It's like, hey, we want to collab. How are we going to collab? It's like, yeah, I'll meet you here in this city. I'll just travel there. You meet me there. And then we work and we find a studio in there, right? And we come up with some ideas. But no, it's controversial. It's always been talked about, and I know that Art Martinez has put that out there, and I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, come on, like, how are you gonna do that? And I'm
I
like,
saw him
Detroit.
post that. I was like,
I know.
what?
The first thing is like Detroit without a doubt.
Yeah, no
So,
question.
I had that was kind of funny that you said that because the one time that I met with Derek in Detroit, he sent me over to the studio, and I met him there off of Great Avenue, right, which is the old Transmat building with KMS and with Metroplex with One Atkins. And he's like, look, dude, if you look down, it's like that was Kevin's spot right there. If you go to the other side, that was one spot. We all just shared the same spot, just different levels. He's like, I was here in 1982, 1983. He was in 81. But then they were doing shit out of their home back in the day, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where you start thinking about it. It's like, okay, well, fuck, it is controversial because this guy's up in Germany. We're still doing something too. Again, that's why you listen to something from the UK. It doesn't have as much groove and so as something from the US. Have you noticed that when it comes to techno in general? Because now US, you can say, yeah, they really did create that Detroit tech. It's a sound of its own to me. It's deep house with that harder bass lines, right, with very melodic sounds, but more not so digital sound, more of a, it's a little different.
Yeah. Herbie Hancock came out with an album in the 80s, and I believe it was called Technotronic or something like that. And the big
Yes.
song that came out of it was called Rocket. Dun, 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 dun. And honestly, I was, obviously I was just a kid when I heard that. Everybody told me that was techno, right? And so when I was young, I thought that was techno. And
So the word was being used
right.
freely. Okay. See, and again, we're 10 years apart, maybe 8 years apart or so, something like that.
Yeah.
So okay, so then that's different, right?
Right. But
Um
I can't, I'm not going to say that was right. That was just my first, that was my first introduction. There
perception.
was probably Tour de
Yeah.
France and all that was already out, but that was my first, was through breakdance music, because that's essentially what it was. Herbie Hancock's Rocket was a breakdance tune, but everybody was saying, "Oh, this is techno. This is American made product," and Herbie Hancock is like he's kind of like what happened with Beyonce and house music. He's kind of like bringing light to it more than being
I see. I see.
of it.
Hey, well, once we're talking about exposure gigs, right? Just bringing that
Yeah,
exposure to that sound.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
that's
What's a
interesting.
what's a track that you have in your crates that you have to bring with you every time you go out to play? You have one of
Oh
those?
shit. Oh shit. Yeah. I'm gonna send it to you right now, and it's Surgeon, and it's the title's La Real.
Nice. Oh, look at
So
you. You're all fancy with the. You know how to use the Zoom a little
the
bit better
hype,
than I do.
yeah, yeah. So Surgeon Labreal, Surgeon UK guy, right?
Huh?
I actually saw him play in Houston, and there's a picture floating around over there, around the internet about me being at that party, and then they're looking at the date, and they're like, "Holy shit, how old are you, bro?" It's like I think it was like 15 with a fake ID in that place, and I think it was a space. Remember with
Oh yeah, John
John
Tran.
Tran, and those
Shout out
guys.
to John Tran.
Um, yeah, I think it was like 713 Techno too that was out there throwing
Right.
that party back in the day. And I went there and I took a picture with him. We all had a shirt that said "I love techno" or "I
Nice.
am techno." It was "I am techno." Um, but yeah, that one, dude. So when we went to the concert year, that Jeff Mills came down to Austin and played, bro, he threw that track, and I was like, the first time I heard it was on that Liquid Rim set.
Right.
That in mind. So now you can kind of date the track, how old it is, right? Um, and he throws that shit in Austin. It seemed like it was in unison, bro. The whole fucking crowd knew that track. And I'm
Nice.
like, dude, that is like it's ahead. And I always throw it, I always try to incorporate as much as I can on a real techno set. If I know that the crowd is like in between a house and a techno crowd because it's got that groove, that good swing. So whenever you get a chance, listen to it. Um, and you'll see once it builds up and it drops, you're just like the drums are just insane.
Yeah.
They're
It sounds like
insane.
it's kind of like House of the Jaguar. Like it's one of
Yes, yes,
those songs
yes,
that you can
yes.
kind of transition from techno into house. Was there somebody or a group of people or individual or like a scene? Was the scene very supportive for you in nurturing who you are, or what was it that nurtured you the most through your kind of journey?
Dude, I think to me, I would have to say, my family, even though they've always told me, hey, why don't you just go play some salsa, some merengue? You'll get a bunch of people. And I'm like, look, guys, it's not what I'm trying to do. They're like, okay, no, we know what you're trying to do. Then I would play a mix for them every once in a while. They'd be like, oh shit. It's like, I like that style. You're not going so hard. That's a little bit more pleasant. I can listen to it. And I'm like, hey, there's there's every track has its time, and you just always expect me to play this harder stuff. Now, was the scene nurturing? I think at the beginning was hard because I think as much as we were as it is now, but now it's I think the impact that it's had, the social media and all that, the impact that it's had on somebody that's coming up, it's a lot different because it's about the popularity, and how many people you like, and we all talk about the same shit, right? It's not about quality anymore. It's about who you're trying to portray that you're going to be or that you are. Um, so to me, um, you know, the biggest thing here is it's yeah, I think I'd say the family and close friends that are just, hey, always keep in mind is, keep doing what you want to do, but of course every setting is different. And I think that's what creates a good DJ, man. It's understanding that, right? Understanding who you're playing to and how can you transmit your vision to what you're playing during that specific setting. So yeah, I mean, I would say family, man, family and close friends. It wasn't easy, because we always did our thing, right? You always throw your parties, you always go and you promote your own thing. Then I'll get with people like yourself and go and do something with you, trying to kind of get out of my, my group that I'm usually hanging out with. And at the same time, we all have the same vision either way. So I think that, yeah, like I'm telling you, the scene now is not what it was for us 20 years ago or 25 years ago. I think that you can agree with that because even though there was competition, everybody understood, and respected the level of that specific DJ that's playing and respected their talent.
Definitely.
Now it's like it's whatever. So if I was to be coming up at this time, I'd be like, fuck, dude, like this is I don't have the time for it. I wouldn't have the time for it, right? You almost need to have your own social media manager and shit. So that's what I think.
I think well, that makes you a real Hispanic, honestly. Family's so important,
Yeah,
to Hispanic people, man. I mean, I grew up a little bit different. My parents always supported me for sure,
yeah,
but the people I pulled closest to me, those were my quote unquote family. Those were the
sure,
people that I
for sure.
I consider family. But yeah, so if there's do you find like there's a particular time of day where you feel the most creative or the most inspired to do, work like mixing
Yeah,
or anything like that? What is that for you?
yeah. Oh man, that's a good question because I think for me it doesn't really have to be a particular time of the day. Um, it's can I be just clear-minded, right? Can I tell the kids, hey, go do stuff, have the kids I'm free of the kids, right?
Right.
If I'm like or like stress free where I don't have to worry about somebody coming in and interrupting me, that's the time where I think I could you don't have that anxiety of somebody just bursting into your door. Hey, can I do that? No, 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 no. Let's close everything out. Nobody's gonna come in. Let's get to work, kind of deal.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I haven't been working on any music lately though. It's been a while since I moved it to my new house. I told you, and I need to bring you over here. So once you like dismantle all this shit and all this equipment, bro, to connect this shit back together, it's just like it's like nah. I'm gonna get back to it though. Sometime I will. I mean, I got my techniques. I got that,
Yeah.
um, but in terms of production equipment, I haven't put it back together, man. I know most of the shit is plug and play, but I like a little bit more external devices than playing so much VSTs and shit on the the DAWs, whether it's Ableton or whatever.
I like that. For me, music has always been a way for me to express myself. I think that that's one of the things that
Hmm.
music has taught me. And so I always kind of have to, like with music, like you were talking about earlier, music's also a release for me. So if it's a
Hmm.
tough day, I don't really have the kind of job anymore that like, shit just came. I got a shit storm of something, that I want to escape from. So, but I do have those days where I'm just like, everything is just kind of melancholy. So I come in to the house. First thing I do is put my headphones on and I start playing music. It's just a great release for me. What do you think that music has taught you about yourself or about the world, or how do you look at music?
That's damn. You're throwing some good questions out there, man. Well, your roots have a lot of you know, I guess saying on the sound that you try to chase or the sound that you're more interested in listening to, right? I can tell you that I'm always looking to play stuff with more acoustic sounds, more original sounds, not so much things that look very digitized, that sound very digitized. I just can't, not too many synths. Uh, Warm sounds, I guess you could say. That's just that Latino in me, man. It's you just gotta. I like the drums. I like the bongos, the congas. Um, you know, uh, the kicks. But I think about myself. It's I gotta have that. You know, shit. I can't even answer this one, dude. I'm just like because I could say so much about it, right?
I like
Uh,
that you're talking about your roots. I mean, it's one of those things that people don't think about, because I think a lot of Americans don't understand, like may not understand, let's say, that, as a person of color, descended from a separate culture than American culture,
Yep.
you have that experience of like listening to Latin based music,
Yeah.
stuff that you love, stuff that you hated, stuff that just it makes up who you are. And
Yeah.
so I like where you're going with that.
Yeah, because I mean, you start thinking about it, right? And I can go back to the night. I can
Did
hear
you hear
that.
that?
Yeah.
De la historia negra, de la historia nuestra, caballero. Y dice así.
Okay,
Con
so
la
that
voz.
no, that's Joe Arroyo.
Joe
But
Arroyo. Okay.
yeah, Rebellion. But that's a Colombian tune.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah. It's kind of you start thinking about that, right? And you said, okay, well, I could say Proyecto Uno. Do you know who that is?
Oh yeah.
Okay, you know,
Ahí está.
está
Se la
el
llevo ese
tiburón.
tiburón.
Then you think of El General, right? I mean,
Oh
come
man.
on, bro. And then I don't know if you even thought about this portion, and I know you know this, but the connection with Eric Morillo and those guys.
Yep. Mad Stuntman.
I had no fucking clue until
Yeah.
10 years ago, bro.
It's crazy.
And I'm
right?
like, when I really started digging into his stuff, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. It was maybe about 5, 6 years before he passed.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm like, shit, I wish I would have been more involved into, listening to more of his stuff, dude. I mean, that guy was talented as hell. But talking about the basis, right? Like, where did things come? How did your sound evolve, or what influences your sound is that style of music for me, that was like my era, right? That like early, like 93, 94, 95, 96, and then it kind of just turned into reggaeton after that, right? Even though reggaeton was around, dembow was around for a while, right?
Yeah.
But the real through, but that whole that tribal, Latin tribal music, I think, has a lot of influence on the stuff that I play nowadays.
Nice. Original. Oh wait, let me put original sound for musicians.
There you go.
Let's see. Let's see if that worked. Let's see, original. Okay, here we go.
Look at that. Beautiful.
Oh, you can hear it.
Beautiful. See what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I mean,
you can hear the congas in there.
Oh, dude. So, and it's good that you get to play it, because when you start thinking about it and you see what this guy was doing, I mean, listen to this right here, to this job. Oh, man, dude.
Yeah.
It's sick, dude.
Super
So
dope.
he did. That was based on a club called La Real in northern Spain.
Oh, okay.
And he said that it was something that influenced him so much that he made a track out of it.
That's dope. Surgeon,
So,
La Real.
Surgeon, La Real.
It's got a great swing to it.
Oh yeah.
So how do people find out about you, man? Where do they find you online, etc.?
Yep. So on Instagram is at JJ_Malave, MALAVE. Facebook, I got it at facebook.com/77Malave. That's 2 J's, and then we have X, the new Twitter, at JJ Malave. So x.com/JJ Malave. So
On X.
yeah, I mean,
I'll be getting canceled over there.
On X. Yeah, no, on X. Yeah, so yeah, just Instagram, JJ_Malave. Like I said, Facebook is 77Malave. And then X, the new Twitter, is at JJ Malave.
Nice. Man, it was great talking to you. I'm really looking forward to doing the show. That's July 27th. God, I can never remember dates. July 27th, Saturday at the location is on the flyer.
Hey,
Location is on the flyer.
You have a location.
We got a location.
We got
it's gonna be free. This is crazy because this is the first time we've done this together as a no cover party. So it should definitely be really dope. Here's a break too.
Right here.
JJ Malave is gonna be killing it. He's gonna be La Real to Exposure. We're gonna have a blast. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Hopefully we don't drive everybody crazy. But yeah, we're gonna blast it out. We're gonna Nah, we're not gonna drive anybody crazy. We're gonna have a great time.
Make it groovy, baby. Make it groovy, baby.
It's gonna be groovy. All right, brother. Great talking to you.
There you go.
We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Peace.